Hey ladies and gents, this is Far Amazing Adventures, and today I'm going to continue on part 2 of the documentary of the Western Road Trip in the year 2020. But before we continue, please press that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on all notifications so you won't miss out on any of my posts. Also share this post as well as other posts I have uploaded in the past. As I left off in part 1 video about my recent stop in Fillmore, Utah, I headed north into Idaho. When I entered into Idaho, I slightly headed west into a large valley and came to my next stop, Craters of the Moon National Monument. Craters of the Moon, part of the National Park Service, is one of the many natural wonders found in the state of Idaho. And despite Idaho's widespread of the stereotypical idea of a place where they just only grow potatoes, there are many amazing sights to see in the state. This park is nothing but a valley of volcanic terrain, which its ground is layered with hardened lava, volcanic cones ranging from small to very large ones, even lava tubes where many come with climbing gear and explore these natural formations. Craters of the Moon got its name primarily from the local legends, making references that this place looks like a valley of the moon. Also in 1969, NASA astronauts trained at this place, a partnership that was started and even continues till this day. As you can see here, the terrain is very rough and jagged, so you visit this place, wear hiking boots or legit hiking shoes, and don't be like me, hike these trails with normal shoes that started to fall apart at the very end of the day. This is a trail that led among several very large volcanic cones. Eventually, this trail led up on the very top of one of these very large, magnificent cones. As I continued on, the trail led down from these large cones and eventually came to an end. At the end of the trail, there were 2 small cones in which I was able to go inside of one of them by walking on a spiral path. Out of all these cones of Craters of the Moon, my favorite one of all of them was Inferno Cone. Inferno Cone is very large, covered with black lava sand, and even though it was a very short hike up the very top, it was very steep also. These arrangements of rocks and boulders was where the crater used to be, but now it's plugged and sealed by its own eruption. After my whole day exploring Craters of the Moon, I left, booked a hotel, and called it a day. The next morning, I woke up and headed east and came to a place called Devil's Tower, which is part of the National Park Service. This place is full of legends and myths. Also, it is still a sacred grounds to local Native American Indians. The geology of Devil's Tower has been debated for years. Many have claimed it to be an actual volcano. Others rejected that claim and say it's an actual push-up of a massive projection from underground shifts. And of course, wild theories go as far as claiming Devil's Tower would be a gigantic petrified tree stump. I did not stay at the site that long, but here I got to see the massive rock formation up close and hike a short nature trail, and even saw some prairie dogs for the first time in my life.
That's very cool. It's so good.
This scenery here is part of the nature trail hike that I took, and here was a lookout spot where I stood and saw an amazing valley filled with hills, plains, vegetation, and of course behind me, Devil's Tower. After a while, I left Devil's Tower and headed east even more. I finally came to Mount Rushmore National Monument, another place underneath the National Park Service, and briefly visited there. I was there for only 2 hours, but I was there long enough to take some good photos. Then I left because I was pressed for time and the sun was setting. I hurried in to Custer State Park, hoping to see some sights before the sun set. I pretty much saw a few amazing landscapes and some bison until darkness took control of the day, so I decided to leave. The next morning, I woke up and headed on the road back to Virginia. On my way, I stopped at Badlands National Park. The Badlands National Park is well known for its findings of fossils, from animals to plants. I didn't stay long at the Badlands, but I stayed enough to walk the boardwalk and also in some areas got off the boardwalk. This is the area that I got off the boardwalk and decided to walk the trail. The reason for the boardwalk was to allow access for the handicapped or the disabled. Also, to keep tourists safe from rattlesnakes. As I walked here, I was constantly vigilant of snakes. The Badlands can be a wasteland, but it's a place full of wonder and adventure. While I was here, I spotted some wildlife. Some were well known, such as prairie dogs and bighorn sheep. This is another section of the Badlands National Park, where I walked the boardwalk to observe the prehistoric landscape. This time, I stayed on the boardwalk. This area in this park was like Badlands Grand Canyon. There were canyons in this region that were deep, vast, and stretched a good ways in many directions. Of course, they were nothing like the Grand Canyons. These canyons were my last stop at Badlands National Park. Then afterwards, I was headed on the road to go home. Well, that wraps this video of part 2 of the Western Road Trip of 2020. If you haven't seen part 1 of this video, please check it out and also like and share. Also, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. Share, like this video, as well as other videos I've done in the past. Again, thank you for watching.